Okay, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Music Income Challenge, first module called Produce. My name is Mike from the Indie Band Alliance, and thanks for checking this out. So today we're going to be going over the Produce section or module of the Music Income Challenge training, and you can see it's the first module. The next one is Market, Collect, Amplify, and the outro and the intro. We've already done all that intro. Now we're here. So let's get right to it. Okay, so produce. We're going to talk in this training. I'm going to try to keep this pretty short and quick to the point. We're going to cover the why, what, how, what if, and action steps to produce what you need to start selling your music online. So this section is basically about producing, packaging your product so that you're ready to have something to sell. And the reason why, obviously, because you need something to sell. And part of this means you're going to get your MP3s, excuse me, together and optimized so that you have like the metadata in place so that you have the name of your band and the name of the song and all this stuff so that when you do give it away you're still going to get full credit for it, and people will, even when they're just listening to your music, it will come up in their MP3 player, so you kind of at least still get the branding even if you're giving something away from free. And what I'm recommending is, so you're going to have a squeeze page. People are going to go to it and sign up. And part of what's going to make people even want to sign up in the first place is graphics. So you need to have good music. It's got to sound good. You need to have a good offer. You need to entice people to want to sign up for your download in the first place. But then on top of that, you want the graphics, because the graphics are going to improve the buyer confidence, so it's going to make you look reputable. That perception of quality, right? Like if you've got some pretty nice looking graphics, obviously the graphics in and of themselves aren't important, but they add to the perception that people have when they come to your page, and they're going to help increase your conversions. Okay, so that's why you want to produce basically the whole produce module. It's pretty much the most time intensive, and it's a place where musicians can get really bogged down because you need to have all the technical stuff ironed out before you can even start promoting. So you have to have your songs recorded, you need to have them packaged up, you need to have graphics to go with them. So for instance, when I'm talking about graphics, I'm talking about graphics for each song even. So that way when it's played, there's something that's coming up and it looks different, it's not generic. And you also want graphics for the package. So this is everything that you need to get going. So you need the optimized MP3s, like I said, the graphics. So you're going to have graphics for each song. It might even just be the song title and a logo of the band and maybe a different color background or something, or a variation of the album that song came from. Album graphics, 3D. So these are, you've probably seen these images on the internet where it looks like a CD jewel case and it's half open and there's a disc sticking out and it's got, your logo or the band's logo on it. Like that type of stuff looks really professional, and it makes people feel better about, even if it is only a free offer where they just give their email address to get it, they feel better because it just looks more polished and more professional. Obviously, you should have ideally you'll have a band logo of some kind as well, because then again that adds to the polish and the perception of your band. So you got your optimized MP3s ready to go. You get these graphics together, and you need to have an email database that you're building, and you're using email management software for that. So something like MailChimp, And you're doing this so that way when people sign up, you got the email address so you can follow up with them, you can nurture them, so you're establishing a relationship, and you can compel them to actually buy something. So you're going to give away free music, but then the idea is you want to sell your music, because that's the whole point of the Music Income Challenge, is to make some income with your music. So if you have an email management system, you can do follow-up emails that you don't have to be hard sales. You can even just have a little helpful little message in there, but then in your signature or in your PS, you're always linking back to the sales page for your actual stuff you want to sell. And having this is also allows you to automate, so you can write some emails in advance and have them triggered to go to send at different every so many days, and then that way it's automatic after that. Once you set it up and save it, it will do its own thing. And automation, when done right, is really good, and allows you to spend time doing other things instead of just the business end all the time. So the other thing you need, obviously, to get paid is the shopping cart. And the shopping cart helps to deliver your product, which would be, in this case, your MP3s. And when you're actually selling, it's going to collect your money. And if you have access to a good one, it'll give you, it'll allow you to make special offers to help compel people to buy. So you can do like a limited time discount or different things like this. So it just makes it more enticing, because you have to give people a reason to buy, especially if they've never heard of you before and why they need to buy right now. And all of this, so obviously the email database is going to give you a form that people fill out so you can collect the email address, and that's going to live on a landing page, often called a squeeze page. The shopping cart's going to be like a button that people push to buy, and that's going to be on another landing page called your sales page. So you need to have a place to have landing pages, and that's basically ownership. You get to own your business, because a lot of people want to do Facebook. We'll talk about that in a second, but I'm recommending that you have your own website, so that way you own it, because with Facebook you don't own it. So you need to have that, and I'm going to get into my recommendations. Excuse me. So how do you do all this? Okay, scroll down here. Okay, so graphics. You can bring your own graphics. So any graphics that you've got so far, obviously you got a head start. Just use those. You can also do it yourself for people who are on a bit of a budget. There's a site I recommend. It's called Supalogo, and it's you can build logos. So if you don't have a band logo right now, it gives you something that you can use that's got a graphic to it. I was talking earlier about 3D covers, like CD jeweled cases and things like that. You can do that here at myecovermaker.com. It's not free. I believe it costs $5 per image, but it's a pretty cheap alternative. And for just general photo editing, especially if you're on a budget, I use pixlr.com. It's just, you don't have to download any software. You can just use that straight from the internet to size photos or do whatever you need to do. And if you do have a little bit of money to invest and you don't have a logo, you can get one at 99 Designs or Hatchwise. 99 Designs is probably the most expensive out of that, or Hatchwise. Fiverr, I highly recommend if you're going to create a lot of graphics, if you know it's not your strong point. Even if you do the My ebook cover here, eCover Maker, you need to have some existing graphics to work with to make it work. So you should have a band logo. You should have some sort of cover art. So if you've got absolutely nothing, then Fiverr is probably gonna save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle, especially if you suck at design of any kind. So I recommend go to Fiverr and look up any sort of graphics packages. And just a note, anytime you order something on Fiverr, basically they don't get paid until you approve it, so it is a pretty safe system. Some people do get burned, but just to be smart about it, always check if the person, how long they've been doing the job for, and check for not only how good the reviews are, but how many of them there are. If somebody has only been doing this for 30 days and they've got really good reviews, that's pretty short of a timeline. I like to see 6 months to a year and lots of reviews and good ones. Okay, so keep that in mind. Hosting. So I use HostGator. That's one option. If you've already got hosting, that's fine. To get a domain, I recommend Namecheap. And to build your website, I use WordPress, the .org version, which you host on HostGator, and then have a domain. The reason why you want to have all this stuff, again, it's ownership, and ideally if you have a domain name to send people to your squeeze page, that's better than just having a form field like opt-in on your regular band website. Okay, for shopping cart, this may surprise you. This is a little known system. It's called Zaxa.com. It's quite powerful, and it gives you a lot of options, and it's 100% free until you sell something. Then you have to pay a slight commission, sort of comparable to using something like PayPal. And obviously, if you use PayPal, you're going to have to pay them as well. But compared to a lot of the other ones I've seen out there, this one is less expensive, and they do not charge you. At least the last time I checked, they do not charge you based on the size of the product. So, if you have 50 whatever megabyte download, they don't charge you for storage. It's free. So, highly recommended. And the email management system I use is MailChimp. There are definitely other ones you can use as well, but I've been using MailChimp. I'm pretty happy with it. There are some limitations, but it's free for the first 2,000 contacts, so that's a great place to get you started if you don't have one. So we're going to deal with some objections right now. So what if you're saying, that's great, Mike, but I have no money? Just like I said, MailChimp's free for the first 2,000 contacts, so you can start with that. Zaxa is free, Pixlr and Superlogo, that's what it should read, they're free. And as far as hosting, hosting isn't free, but I can give you an alternate here, which is Weebly. You can create a free Weebly Weebly site to start if you just want to build a squeeze page on it. You are going to have to build it yourself, so it is pretty much a drag and drop type website, but it's something to get you started anyway. That's if you are completely strapped for cash, okay? So no excuses there. Let's see here. And if you have no time, you got to make time. Nobody else is going to give you time, and we all got 24 hours in a day, so you have to prioritize. I can't really help you with this. Look into the time that you spend, watching TV, and see if you can free up an hour or so. Again, if you don't have time and you don't have money, you're not going to have a lot of options. So generally, if you don't have a lot of time, then you can pay somebody, and if you don't have money, then you need to put more time in. So you need to decide where you're going to, which decision's right for you. If you're serious, you're going to be willing to make some sacrifices to get your career going off the ground. What if you already have a website? Well, you got to make sure that you have unlimited pages. I know there's some website packages out there where it's like you get 13 pages and then you got to pay extra. So you want to have unlimited pages because you want to have the ability to make landing pages, ideally multiple landing pages that are very targeted to your audience. Make sure it's affordable, make sure it's good hosting, so your website should load quickly, and you should be easy to edit and update. You should be able to do it yourself. You shouldn't have to contact somebody else, and it should have SEO tracking ability. So if you have all of those, then you should be fine going forward. Okay, you shouldn't have to change anything. And if you say, you know what, I just want to use Facebook, how about that? Well, I don't recommend it because, again, we're talking ownership, which means building your own asset that you own and you control. Facebook, at the end of the day, they can close your page or whatever anytime they want, and if that happens, you can lose everything. So that's why we recommend, build your own site, collect your email addresses, and that way that's a long-term game instead of a short-term. It's going to cost you a little bit more money, but I mean, if you spend a year or 2 years working on a Facebook fan page and then for whatever reason you lose it, then you're going to be starting from scratch all over again. Okay? And if you have a static website, which is a static HTML website, you can use something like NVU to edit files, and FileZilla, which is free. These are both free to move your files up to your hosting account after you build them on your computer. Okay, so the action steps for this. Now there's a lot of steps here to get you going, and that's why I said it's easy to get bogged down. So just create a very simple squeeze page. Sorry, I got John Ojaka there. He offers a squeeze page, but I'm going to follow this up with a link once I hear back from him. You can go to squeezepagecity.com, or you can go to themarketingshow.com. Sorry, let me open that. There's a link that you can go to get a free squeeze page. Now these are HTML squeeze pages. If you use WordPress, they're not going to work. But if you have hosting, you can build your squeeze page using NVU and then just upload it with FileZilla. That's the other resource I just mentioned, to your hosting account, and go from there. Just create a basic squeeze page, okay? And so it should just be here's get some kick-ass music, blah blah blah. Here's where you sign up, type thing like that. Keep it pretty simple. We don't want to get too crazy just to start. Sign up for MailChimp. It's free. Go to MailChimp.com and create a list. So you got to optimize your song files for metadata, have a custom image. If you need to do anything add metadata to your songs, you can do that with Audacity, and here's where you can download it. Again, that's free. And get graphics for your song and album. Again, there's my e-cover if you want to make them yourselves. Otherwise, you can go to Fiverr, and you're going to need a thank you page. This helps you with tracking. And here's a place where you can download a free thank you page template. Again, it's a straight HTML file that you'll have to edit yourself. But it's an option there for you. Again, it's 100% free if you know how to do that type of stuff. So there is a lot of stuff to work on, and I'm going to be following in the footsteps here of this training, and I'll show you what I come up with. But in the meantime, that's sort of that's what we need to do here in the promote stage, is get your the produce stage. If we do all of these things, you're going to have what you need to get going. Okay, you're going to have your music optimized, you're going to have some graphics to make it look good, you're going to have a squeeze page to collect email addresses, and then from there you can start doing nurturing the relationship to hopefully get some sales down the road. And the shopping cart, I'm going to show you more on how to get that set up, but that's the produce stage. Okay, so There's a lot there. Need you to get cracking on it. If you have any questions or difficulties, let me know. But that's it for this week. So, get to it. And I know it does seem like a lot, and this is it's kind of comparable to doing your first show, where you have to spend a lot of time before, even if you're only doing a 15-minute set, it could take you a month of practice to learn, 3 or 4 songs well enough to perform them, and then kind of get ready and, book the show and promote it and all that stuff. There's a lot of work in advance before you actually see anything, So, just, do a little bit every day, and if you get stuck, feel free to ask me questions. And that's it for right now. So thanks very much for watching this. This went a little bit longer than I had intended, but there is a lot there. So there's lots of resources. Just let me know if you have any trouble, and good luck with it. And next time around, we're going to start talking about how to market, and I will be putting together an example from my band to show you guys as well, so you can kind of see and not just you have a better, I guess, idea if this is new to you on what you should be aiming for. All right, thanks so much for watching. Mike out.